Hey, I'm Anthony Allen from Inoculation, and you're listening to FANTASM Podcast.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy.
You are listening to FANTASM Podcast.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad.
Ryan X back from the Black Dahlia murder.
Tom Gabriel Warrior. Eric Green from Simple Tour.
Ross Dolan from Immolation.
We are Gorgasm.
Ismail from Crater.
This is Ernie C. of Body Count.
Terrence from Suffocation.
FANTASM Podcast.
Join your host Corey Gorchrist and Dr. Vincent West for exclusive interviews with the sickest bands in metal and more. Head over to cultoffphantasm.com, the only gravesite for all things horror and death metal. No filler, all killer.
Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal!
All right, Corey Gorchrist, FANTASM Podcast. We are here today. Very special guest, Anthony Allen of Inoculation. Got Celestial Putridity coming out April 8th on Maggot Stomp. Very excited. Dude, how are you?
Good, doing good. Just enjoying a Friday night off work.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Me too. And I guess for what we usually do, we'll just do kind of like a track by track of the new album, and we'll kind of go over little tidbits of it, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. And also, I would just want to say shout out to Abraded, because that shit's fucking awesome, and I love that band too. So
Hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoy Braided as well.
yeah. No, the goddamn, like the Sentence of the Swamp is just really sick album. So
Yeah. There might be some plans for something like that to happen again eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's some things moving, so something to look forward to possibly.
Nice. So I'm all about it. Like Hacked Up and Fed to Slime. Like the first time I heard that song, I was like, Jesus Christ. So
hell yeah, thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
Of course. Celestial Putridity, Inoculation. We'll get into the first track here. Dimensional Connectivity. I guess talk a little bit about that first track.
So that track is actually like a intro track.
Yeah.
We pretty much just had the dude that records us, Noah Buchanan.
Okay.
He like does a lot of stuff like that with like horror movie samples and stuff like that. So we just had him make something for us. He's like done our last couple recordings, and we're real close to him. So we were like, just do something. You know what we like, and he did a really good job on it. It's real like spacey. I think it's a good intro into the album. And it's not like too long. It's not like where you're like, oh, all right, I'm ready for this intro to be over. It's like, it's like a minute or so long. So it's nice, short and sweet, to the point, and gives off a cool vibe to start the album, which is something I like. We haven't done that before, so it's I think a cool way to start it off.
Oh yeah. And then the horror aspect, of course, too, is you have like the ambiance of space, and you're trying to get into this whole thing, and
exactly that like darkness of the putrid space.
Yeah, and you're thinking of it as a listener. You're just like, okay, this is about to go off. So
yeah, because I like to I really like to try and like have an album be like an album, like a full album, and not just like a bunch of songs written and then put together.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like I picture someone like listening to it and how I would listen to an album, and I start it off from the beginning and just go all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have the sick, just like It's just intro.
For sure. Classic death metal.
Yeah. You gotta go classic way. Or if you really want to do a classic, you do like 40 or 50 different samples like Morbid Angel, and then you can do it that way too.
Yeah. Which there are some little, we like doing, there's a couple like little like outro and intro noises throughout the album.
Yeah, of course. And you gotta set it, because you figure people aren't just wanting to hear something heavy, they're trying to kind of escape their reality, like you're wanting to totally dive into this shit. So that's always good to do that. From Dimensional Connectivity, we go into the title track, Celestial Putridity. So we'll get into that one.
That song, let's see, that one was actually, if I'm not mistaken, was the first song we wrote for the album
nice.
way long ago. So that kind of like set the tone for our like writing of the album. So it really kind of set the tone for everything and kept it going. I think it's a great intro track. It starts off sweet. And I think it's just a good song. Good way to start. Starts off right away, in your face, fast. Kind of like a punch in the face to get going on the album.
Sure. And then lyrically, Celestial Putridity.
Lyrically with Celestial Putridity, just like gross space monster, pretty much.
Like Galaxy of Terror kind of shit, or?
Yeah. And honestly, Nick wrote all the lyrics for the album, our bass player.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So he has the like full. He had full reins of the lyrics.
Nice.
So I'm not as versed in like the super connected of how it's all about.
Right.
He's like, hey, say this, and I'm like, that's sick. You know, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, but I know it's like a concept of like a giant, like it's kind of like the album artwork, like just like this like space being, like not necessarily
huge, like tentacle style, like mass, like space mass. That's just
and just like the like darkness of that.
it's like lingering in space, and then if you come across it, just absorbs.
Yes,
whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's sick.
You got it.
Totally into it. We do track 3, I Am Where the Four Gods Meet, which is, goddamn. I say this with a lot of people when I do interviews, but I try to pick, based on just the name itself, what song I would like the most.
Yeah.
I'm probably right now at I Am Where the Four Gods Meet, because that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's almost like Vader, I'm thinking, or like even like, you know, before, you know, Morbid Angel kind of style. But
yeah, that's funny you say Vader, because Nick is a huge Vader fan.
When I thought of that, I actually said it like, you know, in Peter's voice. I was just like, "Oh yeah, we are the voice." You know, it's a perfect title to it. It's so good.
Yeah, for sure. That one's sweet. I think it's a good transition in. It starts with like a super sick bass intro. That just like really gets it going as a good transition from the previous song, I think. And there's a really cool like slow kind of chorus, I guess you could say, in that song. That's kind of got like a spooky, like descending little like slow lick to it with some trills on it that I really like.
Yeah.
As well as that song has a bass solo from Nick,
nice.
which is super cool.
Nice.
He wrote that riff, and we were like, let's have it at the intro. And then I like had a chorded idea, and that I was gonna maybe do a solo over, and I was like, Nick, you do a solo for this.
Yeah.
And lyrically, that song is about like I think it's about like meeting with like the like all powerful like gods of like creation or something like that. Essentially kind of like the masters of the universe. You know?
Exactly.
And like understanding the like outer like limits of space and stuff like that.
Right, like Forerunners kind of thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's death metal as shit too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's fun to run with ideas like that, and then it's just like, wow, this is actually not as scientific as it's also just really brutal if you really think about it.
Yeah. And that's why I really why I love just Nick having doing the lyrics, because he dives so into it and like gets obsessed with like just the like wordplay and all this stuff, and he really loves it. So I'm like, dude, that's you take care of that, bro. You do a great job. So
yeah.
Just tell me what to say.
Hell yeah. And then we get into track number 4, which is Verity Consummated.
And that's another one of my favorite songs. That's the one we chose to release as the first single. And I really like that song, especially the outro of that song.
Yeah.
It's very heavy and just like kind of like a sledgehammer. I like it.
Yeah.
That song also has my favorite guitar solo on the album that I did.
Awesome. Yeah.
And that one, I honestly do not know what it's about. I'm just going to be straight up with you there.
You're just like, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see here. Maybe I can fish for something here. So, verity is a principle or belief, especially one of fundamental importance. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
We'll run with it. That's cool.
Yeah. I wish if I had like the lyrics in front of me, but
yeah,
I don't know.
That's good. Points of that one. Favorite guitar solo. That's a good one. So we'll look out. We'll look out for that because that's important. Number 5, The Edge of Town, which is the name itself is kind of interesting compared to the rest of the album. Kind of sticks out to me. So talk about that one.
This one is actually one that I came up with the lyrical concept for, and just gave the idea to Nick, and he. I was like, I have an idea. Use it if you want, whatever, and he ended up using it. So I came from watching Silence of the Lambs.
Yes. Awesome.
When Jodie Foster's looking for the serial killer or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about someone looking for someone where there's a stash of bodies, but what if it was looking for you think it's a serial killer?
Yeah.
And then you get to where the stash of bodies is, and it's actually a crashed UFO where an alien's been harvesting people and collecting them.
It was very X-Files.
Yeah. So it's about a detective searching for missing peoples and gets a hot tip and then finds out that it's actually harvesting humans.
Because there's that oh shit, there's that one X-Files episode kind of like that, but they end up being these Amish people, and they're this cult, and they end up all being aliens.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah. And it was it kind of reminded me of that, just reading the title. So that's cool. It's actually kind of what you were going for a little bit. That's kind of cool.
It's funny, I have a friend who's always telling me that song title is so stupid, and it's doesn't fit with the album, and it's not metal. I think I don't care if it's not metal or not. I think it's a cool title. And
read the lyrics. It's about fucking finding bodies, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
This. You know what this reminds me of? Honestly, the when I read it too, I was just okay, we'll give it a second. This is why I do this shit. I want to know about the album. So, when I was reading, the track listing, I was okay, The Edge of Town, there's something behind that's obviously more contextual.
For sure.
And then you're thinking of stuff, and you go down the list. It sounds to me I think it's Torture, the Cannibal Corpse record, where it's just called Followed Home Then Killed.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. I was that's what that vibe is. It's coming off like that.
Yeah, and we're always whatever. I don't. Not every song needs to be called "Entrails Ripped from a Virgin's Condom."
Right.
We get it.
Yeah, exactly. But the edge of town, it's like, okay, well, what's at the edge of town? It's like fucking bodies, aliens.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, you got to figure we're in inoculation world here, celestial putridity. There's something going on in the edge of town.
Yes.
It should make you want to dive into it a little more than the rest of the tracks, is all that is,
Yep.
So, yeah, that's awesome. And you're totally in Silence of the Lamb mode with it, so that's even more badass. So.
Yeah, and that song's got some really cool riffs in it, too, that I really like. That's also one of my... I like all the songs of the album, but...
Of course.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, so people don't sell The Edge of Town short because lyrically that is really disgusting in an awesome way. So then we go into number 6, which is Unmade.
Unmade is probably one of the hardest songs I've ever written to play.
I'm gonna say the name of it's pretty. That's really brutal, very subtle. But if you really think about it, like,
yeah,
damn.
And that's essentially what that is about. It's being unmade. In like a we always got to have a little bit of sci-fi twist to it.
Sure.
But yeah, essentially just like that process of like being stripped down and unmade.
I almost think of like going through like a portal to where the human self can't like tolerate it within like cells and matter, so like you kind of like get recoded more or less, and like maybe come out on the other side as something else entirely, and like another, I don't know. If you watch sci-fi enough, you really see that stuff a little bit.
Oh, for sure. And,
being unmade is like so fucking death metal. Just to where the average person reading that word doesn't really think about it as much as
Yeah, because when you're playing death metal or in death metal, your mind goes to things like that.
If you listen to Gorguts and shit like that, and then you read the title Unmade, you're gonna be like, this is gonna be some brutal shit.
Yeah. And that song, still when we play that song, I'm like, oof.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cool one though. It's real like chaotic.
Yeah,
it's cool. I like it.
Oh yeah, and subtle, brutal, and then I'll try to not butcher this name. It's Ovnis Triangulars.
Yes, that is right.
Number 7.
Yes, and this song we filmed another music video for.
Nice.
That we haven't released yet. That'll probably be coming out sometime soon. This one is that's like French for UFO.
Awesome.
Like a triangular shaped UFO.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's about like a wait. That is about Nick actually wrote that song kind of about like us three, but in like a kind of like a movie type thing where we're like it's like about 3 dudes that are like bounty hunters and like going through space in a UFO, like doing mischievous things and being like space cowboys essentially.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome, actually. I dig that. So that's more or less like you guys are superheroes essentially.
Yeah, like a Han Solo type character.
That's really cool, actually. Then we're going to track 8, which is a track from last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Was it Zeranthius?
Zerthanius. Yes.
Okay. And you guys have had that track since last year, from what I
Yeah. So when I said Celestial Putridity was the first song that we wrote, I was actually wrong because it was Zerthanius.
Right. That's what I'm familiar.
We wrote that song for the split.
Yeah, right. It's a split, yeah.
Yeah, and we liked it a lot, so we figured, fuck it, we'll just put it on the album. We felt like it was worthy of being on the album and not just the split. So that kind of just worked out like that. We wanted it there, and I love like the little intro thing, and then the super slow ending. I think is super cool, and like really like put some like movement on the album. Just adding different dynamics and stuff like that.
So did anything change from the split version that you put in the full length, or is it like pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same. There's some slight differences. The solo is a little bit longer, and the solo is completely different.
Nice.
And then there's some vocal like patterns that are a little bit different.
Yeah.
And some spots where we like adjusted the vocals a little bit. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same song.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to hear the little differences. I'm pretty high on that track for a while.
It's faster too. Which is cool.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, this whole album is like very fast, I think. The fastest stuff we've ever done.
Hell yeah.
I know that.
Needs more fast, things are, a lot of the bands are like kind of in like a mid-tempo mode, which is cool too. I like the sludge shit, I like the mid-tempo blast beat stuff, but
100%.
Every now and then I need some really just fast shit too,
For sure. I love playing fast.
and with this album and like the vibe of it, you want to feel like you're in a wormhole through space and just being ripped apart. So it's kind of in that realm. Yep. And then number 9, I know exactly what that is because I'm a fellow Hebrew, is Cannabosum, which is Hebrew for cannabis.
Yes. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to know that.
Yeah.
You get 1 gold star.
Yeah. Yep. Number 9 is a song about weed, so that's good.
Yes. And it's pretty much just about like the like origins of weed and like it like connecting you to like celestial beings and stuff like that.
It's the Earth's true like seed, or like humanity's like vessel to all the other shit.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. I like that.
Just like a weed praise song.
You gotta have. I mean, why not?
Yeah, and there's a sample in that song which is cool. And it's just a dude like talking about weed. But it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, you make it death metal. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone's getting high.
And I like the solo in that song is at the very end. And like everything kind of like drops out, and it's just bass and drums, and then the guitar solo.
Yeah.
And it's got a cool vibe to it, I think.
And you think a lot of death metal musicians, like older ones, whatever, they get drunk, but it's like Steve Ashima, DSI gets fucking high as fuck all the time. And, hung out with him stoned, and like Terrence from Suffocation, he gets fucking high as shit all the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's death metal to be stoned and talk about aliens and shit. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, and also from a fellow Hebrew, I really appreciate that track. So.
Oh, good. Well, we did it all for you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. You got a weird Hebrew fan in that track alone, so it's good.
Good.
Obviously, already a fan of the band, but yeah, that's an extra. That's a gold star for you guys as well. So.
Good.
In the Phantasm handbook here, and then we're finally on the last track, which is Universal Entropy.
And this song is this one is one of my favorites on the album too. It's up there. It's got some really sick riffs in it.
Yeah.
It's probably got one of the hardest riffs to play on the album that Nick wrote. That it took me like way too long to learn it. But it was one of those things where I'm like, dude, I'm learning this riff 100%. I don't care how long it takes me. And it took me a while, but it's super good. It's probably the longest song on the album, I think.
Nice.
It's cool. I like it. There's a couple of weird rhythm parts in it, and it's about the destruction of the universe, pretty much.
That's a good way to end an album, right there.
Yeah. Kind of it starts out with the dimensional connectivity of the connected universe, and then ends with the destruction.
Nice. And then in between, I mean, it's cool because right before it, you can just smoke weed and then the world explodes. So.
Exactly, which is what you should probably be doing when the
I mean, last minute, just light it up and then here we go. It's over.
Yeah, what else can you do?
And I was going to talk about real quick, like, because I know you guys blew up prior to the COVID thing, but, like, when I was talking to Steve from 200 Stab Wounds, I love those dudes, too. They blew up kind of, like, overnight, but, like, COVID happened, like, right when they kind of got big, so, like, they were like, we kind of got signed, like, before we were even able to tour, and now we're not able to tour at all, so it's kind of, like, weird. So I guess talk about how that's, like, affected you a little bit, or how's, like, from where you guys were to where you are now, not even with the COVID thing, just in general, like, have you guys kind of got legs on this stuff, and there's a lot of hype for the album that you've kind of paid attention to?
Yeah, I mean, it was... When everything first happened, it was a huge blow because we were supposed to start like a 35-day tour across the country that we were supposed to, I think our first date was March like 15th.
Yeah.
So that's when like everything like was like just starting.
It was like the week after. It was like the last show I saw was like maybe March 6th or maybe it was like the 12th. Yeah. And it was Sanguisugabog. It was like...
Yep.
And a lot of those bands dropped off that tour, because I think you guys did shows during that tour they did, like on other dates.
Yeah.
And I think Vomit Forth did some dates then, and like, oh man.
Mutilation, I think.
Yeah. So like, you guys were on certain dates that they were doing, then they came to Nashville, and I drove up there. And that was like the last show I saw was like a year ago. Like pretty, like if not, it's already passed now. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, and we were like, we didn't know if we were gonna like go on our tour or not, because like everything was going down, and none of our shows had gotten canceled yet.
Yeah,
and it was like 2 days before we were about to leave, and we were like, "Fuck it, we'll just like go."
Yeah,
and then the next day, within like 3 hours, we had like our whole West Coast get canceled, which was like 10 shows, 10, 12 shows all in the middle of our run.
Right.
And then the next day after that, everything else got canceled pretty much. And
God damn.
Yeah, but we tried to, we've stayed as busy as possible. We've been practiced twice a week, every week through the past year.
Nice.
And so pretty much once the tour got canceled, we just were like, all right, let's finish up this album, get ready to record, and so that was pretty much all that was. And then we have 5 new songs written and are about to start on another one. So we've been staying really busy. We actually also worked on a couple cover songs that we might do something with eventually. But we've been trying to stay as busy as we possibly can.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, it's all you really can do at this point, you know.
Hopefully,
people do their thing and get vaccinated. Hopefully summer, fall, I'm thinking more fall, that things will go back to normal at least a little bit, you know. And you guys can at least hit the road to start supporting the albums and getting back out there, because I know that's what you guys really want to do. And
oh, for sure. It's definitely kind of a bummer that we don't get to like play any shows on the album like right away.
Yeah.
But,
Cause almost
we've been sitting on this album for a while, so we're just ready to get it out. You know, because we kind of talked about like, do we wait? But like, nah,
fuck it. People are listening. I mean, honestly, it hits more now because people are at home, like listening to music more. So
yeah, no, you're definitely right.
In a way, like you still got the audience that likes to just kind of randomly go to shows where they're discovering bands, but you also get more of the people that are at home just in the rabbit hole listening to bands in general. So like,
yeah, for sure.
It's kind of really, you're not losing much, but it sucks to not go out and play, because like as a musician, you want to be like, now you get to see us fucking, you know, do our thing, and you know, takes away the other half. But hopefully people are safe and get things back to normal. And bought the album on cassette. I did get a patch from you too. So
sick. Hell yeah,
I'm excited about that, because I didn't know you guys had them. I kind of just went on the merch thing on the Bandcamp. I was like, oh, they got like a lot of stuff right now. So
oh yeah, well, so like the tour, we had like bought so much merch
Yeah.
to get ready for that tour, and we had other tours planned after that tour, so we were like, let's just bulk up on merch so we're like good. And then
Yeah.
And then we've done multiple new merch runs in the past year and stuff too,
Right.
so
Yeah, but there's still a lot of stuff on there, so everybody hit up Inoculation's Bandcamp and
appreciate it.
can get their new album on there in different formats and old shit too. And it's pretty dope. So if I can do it, you can do it. So go pick up some merch and pick up the new album. Celestial Putridity comes out April 8th on Maggot Stomp. Anthony, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming on and doing this with me, and love your guys' shit. I wish you all the best, and I'm excited for you guys to put this out, and really stoked to hear the whole thing now that we've chatted about it. And yeah, I'm pretty happy for you guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you asking me to come on here and talk with you. And
of course,
can't wait for you to be able to hear the album, and as well as everybody else. Hopefully, everybody likes it as much as we do. So
yeah, dude.
be good.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and like I said, stay in touch, and I'll throw this out to you whenever I get it finished up. And yeah, man, I'm excited for you guys. And April 8th, Maggot Stomp, Celestial Putridity by Inoculation, full-length album. Hit them up on their Bandcamp. And yeah, dude, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
Hell yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Hey, you too, dude. Thank you.